Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Who has missed this swollen face? If you're new here, I want to say thank you for joining the family and welcome. And if you're an old subscriber, I just want to say thank you for sticking around even when I was unavoidably absent. Welcome guys. Let's go. Okay, so I've had a lot of requests in recent times, or should I say it's been a while, yeah. A lot of persons have been requesting that I do um a full tutorial on how to ventilate a full lace wig, and then I should also um, do a video on how to make braided wig series. And I think I am here now, right? On a very good day, we're going to do a video on how to do our bone straight unit. Okay, so without further ado, I have my mannequin head, I have my T-pins, I have my Allison in 14 inches. The paper is one out. So yeah, this is what 14 inches looks like. I have my full lace nets. I want you to notice something very important. So usually it comes with a airline guide. And so what I do is I'll go in and thicken the airline guide with maybe a high pencil, eyeliner, or anything that is erasable, not something that's permanent. And then I'll go behind it, just some inches behind it, and take mark another line following the airline guide pattern. And this is so that when I get to the front, I can change. Anyways, let me just allow you. I'm going to take you through the entire process. Okay. So what we're going to be doing today is not, we have three densities, just like we do in closures. I've done density palette on closures before, right? I do the same thing for a full list for braided wigs. We have the very full density, which is like what I have here, but my hair is quite grown and showing dark, so you really can't see, but on a good day we'll treat that. We have a very full density that I use for tiny braids, tiny braided wigs, luxury tiny braided wigs. And then we have the medium density. Let me have that full list. We have the medium density. So this is what I was trying to talk about. See what the front looks like. Now this is our medium density. It's not so dense, but I mark these two lines so that when I'm ventilating, I'll stop on the first line and then intentionally create the airline using the diagonal pattern between the space now. That's from the first to the second, right? So that's why this is not so dense. You can see this is our second density, and then you can see that the front looks like a luxury fleece, right? Okay, so now it's just to, this is attachment fleece. This is made with attachment. It's just to go in and put one or two lines of human hair for the styling, and that's it. And then the third density, that's the one I use for cornrows. I see people use it for box braids. I don't do that. We like we like being different, not just being different. Let's leave that. So what we're going to do today is the last of our densities. So I'm going to be taking them one by one. But when we're done with this fullest, when you get when I'm done with this fullest, when you're done watching this video, let me know if you want to see how I'm going to use it to do the cornrow, because this is for a cornrow wig and I'm going to be using this blend to ventilate it. And I'm not going to be cutting in two. I'm going to be using full length because for cornrows you don't want the hairs coming out. All right. So let's begin. It's going to be a long video. This is what you asked for. I hope you're ready. All right. So let's go. Okay. So the mistake some of you make, this net comes like this. And you want to turn it inside out, making sure your strap is inside. Make sure, okay, Somehow I fell in love with these wooden pins. Make sure to buy multiple of them and just to use different ones. You're going to find one that work well with you and just, help your speed. Because if you can connect well with the pin, you're just on another level when you're working. So buy multiple of them. I think I have up to maybe 8 or so. Buy multiple of them, work with all of them, and make your choice. The one that helps you to work faster, you take that one. Okay, so I do the first one, and I'm going to go one, which is number one hole spacing, two, which is two hole spacing, and I'll pick. Remember, we're doing 3 to 4 strands, but that 4 strands you want to limit it because you don't also want to waste your extension. All right, and then from the side, you leave 2 rows, two, one, two. Now you want to follow, you want to trace your diagonal lines downwards. Can you see my line? Can you see the lines? Remember, these lines come in 2 directions. I had mentioned before that for braided wigs, we do the V that's facing down. It's just simple, but you can do the one that faces up. You just want to stick to one pattern so you don't get confused along the way. I'm not used to doing this overspaced full and I just count 1, 2, and then you go 1, 2. So you have 2 lines in between. That means you're supposed to count 3. You have 2 lines or rows, however you wish to call it, in between. 1, 2, 3 on the same diagonal line. Don't mix it up. 3 to 4 strands, don't forget. You go back to the same line and start skipping 2 rows or 2 lines, however you choose to call it. Right? Now look at what this place looks like. We'll come back to address it. But for now, let's do a number of these. Right? So if I have a little of them, like I've done a few, at this back, this is not it doesn't make any sense to do what I want to do now. But I like my job having a pattern. I don't like it looking awkward. I'm just gonna come to places that look quite spacious and add. This is for a cornrow, and this is the back of the net. For goodness sake, what I'm doing does not make any difference. But it's just what I do. So when I flip it over, I want it to look good. I don't want it to look just anyhow. Do you get it? And let's get back to the business of the day. You go 1, 2, and take 3 to 4 strands. 1, 2, and on the third one, following the same diagonal line, you take 3 to 4 strands, and that's it. Have you noticed it? This is one hole spacing. We'll take that. Now it's time to adjust my pin because I need to see my holes clearly. Right? So when you go a little bit further, you want to flip it over if you want to do exactly what I'm doing. You want to flip it over and see what it looks like underneath, and then just go into those spaces and fill them up. Like I said, this doesn't make any difference. It doesn't actually make sense. Well, I told you guys, if being meticulous is a person, then that would be me. I don't like doing things randomly. I don't like anything I'm doing looking haphazardly. So I always find a way. Now see what it looks like. It's always gonna flip underneath to check. Okay, so I'm just gonna continue, and then when it's time to extend, I'll come back and show you how I do that. But now I'll see you guys. So diagonally, you get to a point where you think it's getting too wide because it slows you down when you tilt the mannequin this way and tilt it back this way. So what you do is just keep a section. So the section you have is okay, and you want to, instead of starting all the way from here again, you just want to start halfway and keep going down. When it gets wide enough, you do the same thing. You just pick a section halfway and continue going. It gets wide enough, you repeat the same thing. Now, what's the benefit of this? When you're finally done, you know you're done with the down part. So all you need to do is to take your each section, to just ventilate them upwards, and it makes the job quite easy compared to starting from the bottom of the net at every point. All right, so I just started a new section, and that's basically it. I told you guys I'm going to be taking you through the entire process. So stay glued. We're going to go through this together to the very end, as a matter of fact. All right. So I think I've mixed up my line. But let me see what happened. What happened? Okay, this is out of the line. This is simple. This is supposed to be directly slant. The moment you notice that, let me zoom this in. Notice something is wrong here, right? The slant is not smooth. This one is tilting upwards. That's how I knew something was wrong. So I'm gonna be taking this out. Shit. So quickly, sorry about that. Quickly, I moved back to my line. I know it can be tasking to do this part, but not really. Just pay attention. You will be able to see the lines. I don't know if you can see them right now, but when you're working on it, I'm outside my house, sitting on the floor, right? Just make sure you're working somewhere where you don't have to strain your eyes. You'll see the lines. Stick to your line, right? So you want to go back to the same spot and repeat the process. You keep going and then you go as wide as you think it's becoming too stressful to go from end to end. You go back and start from somewhere in between. Okay, so I'm gonna take this part almost to the end and I'll be back. So at this point, the sections on one side are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So you should take this to the end. This is blurry. 1 minute. Okay, so you have first section, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. The next thing is to take them, just take each section to the joining part. Take here to the joining part, take here to the joining part, here to the joining part, likewise here. And then we're going to start this other side by branching this way. That is the opposite direction. This side you branch this way, and this side you're going to be branching this way. So quickly, let me just show you what my girl will be doing. Okay, start completing. So this is the most important part. This line runs to the end of this double part. That's where this line ends, so you can't continue. I think my background is getting quite noisy. I'm so sorry, this is quite shaky. I'm the one with the camera, and my apprentice is the one ventilating. I'm more than 100% focused on what she's doing, so I was not paying attention to the camera. That's why it's shaky. I'm really sorry. I just want to make sure you guys get the needed information. And so I'm certain you understand how we got from the beginning to the first joining by now.
and how you tag down the end of your joining. You don't allow it to be flab, you don't allow it to be just standing on your way when you want to breathe. You tag it down intentionally. This is what she's doing, and basically you're good. You just want to take each section up all the way to the end of the journey, and we're good. I'll see you guys.